So can you please explain me with an example, like in which
Mhm.
scenario mortgage brokerage acts as an intermediary?
Okay, so intermediary. So most of the mortgage agents are mortgage brokers that you see. So broker is mortgage associate we're talking about, right? Not as a broker who runs the brokerage. So most of the mortgage associates work as most mortgage brokerages generally work as an intermediary. So intermediary is basically where they say, okay, let's take a look at. So they'll have you complete your paperwork and they look at your credit rating, income, and whatnot. And then they will recommend which lender is a right fit for you. So that's an intermediary where they're not working for the lender. So basically, they'll work with banks like TD Bank, Scotiabank. They will work with other monoline lenders like Equitable, Manulife. These are monoline. They only do mortgages, but you cannot go get mortgages. Strive is another one. So you cannot go to them directly. You can only access them through mortgage associates. So in that case, the mortgage associate is working as an intermediary between the person who wants to get the mortgage, the borrower, and the person who is lending the money, the lender in this case, right? So intermediary means that neither person is the client, right? So client is the person on whose behalf you are working. But in this case, the mortgage associate is not working on either person's behalf. And the person is not a customer either. Customer is when you're working with somebody, but not on their behalf, right? So in this case, intermediaries basically neither one is a client, neither one is a customer. You are just bridging the gap between the two. So you are helping the lenders find people who match the criteria, their risk criteria. And then on the other hand, you are finding the best lender that matches the borrower's criteria. So that's an intermediary. Now, there's other examples where it could be a client relationship. So you're working on behalf of somebody. So this would happen in a private mortgage situation. So let's say somebody comes to you and they say, okay, we're building this new place. We need a private mortgage because maybe they don't qualify for going to typical lenders. So in this case, you can match them up with the private lender. So private in the case of bigger lenders, these lenders will have their own underwriting department. So underwriting department is where basically they will take all the application and the paperwork that's submitted with the application, and they will do the risk analysis on that. So basically they will call up, they will like check the credit, they will call the references up, they will pull all that stuff. So basically they will do underwriting. Basically they'll check everything for the borrower, right? So major, bigger lenders like TD has it, and all these bigger lenders will have their own underwriting departments. But for a private lender, so let's say I had $1 million to lend, I'm not a lender as such. So as a private lender, I don't have an underwriting department. I don't know what to look for. So in this case, a mortgage associate would generally work on behalf of the lender. So you as a mortgage associate will work on my behalf. So I will be your client, right? You will be the agent. I am the client. And then a borrower comes in and they say, hey, I'm looking for a private lender. In this case, you can work with the borrower, but you're not representing them. So the borrower in this case is a customer. So your client will be the private lender and the borrower will be the customer. So you're helping the borrower, you're working with them, but you're and getting paid commissions from them, but you are not representing them because you're representing the lender. So in this case, the relationship is not an intermediary relationship. The relationship is a client relationship with the lender. Okay. So those are the different relationships. So intermediaries, when you're not working on either party's behalf, you are just facilitating the deal, right? You're just helping to match them up. And then client relationship is the person on whose behalf you're working. So when you're working for a private lender, you will do the underwriting. So you will call up the references, you will pull the credit report, you will check all the information, the money they have and their job situation and so forth. So you would do all of that on behalf of the private lender. And that's why the private lender is your client in this situation. And the borrower will be the customer.